Hello there, football fans. Welcome to another FanCam Football League Hub edition. This is for all you Man United fans out there. We are the greatest fan base. There's no debate about that, so don't be spamming in the comments about anything else. We've got quite a few things to get through. We're going to be talking about signings. We're going to be talking about what they bring in, starting 11, formations, maybe one to watch out for, and what we expect from the season, and what happens if it doesn't all go to plan A. So to kick us off, let's talk about signings, everyone's favourite part of the summer transfer windows. Unfortunately for United fans, it's been like walking in a candy shop. We did get the top of the treat. So Phil, start us off with your main summer signing so far. I know it's Tom Heaton, but we'll give that a break. So go ahead.
Yeah, Tom's settled in now, so we'll move on to the next signings. There was a guy called Sancho. I think you may have heard of him. He's obviously been after for over a year. It's well documented. Everybody knows it. World's worst kept secret. We've got him now. It'd be great to see him in some training pictures. We've not even seen that yet. And Varane, I think he's still on the plane. I don't know what plane he's been on. But when he finally lands, I'm sure he'll land with a graceful bump. I think he's going to be fantastic at the back with Maguire, and I think Sancho coming in from the right or the left or through the middle. I think his versatility is just a great aspect to have. You know, he's going to mix with Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, Bruno, Pogba, Cavani. He's just got such a wealth of talent up front now. We need to be able to use it.
Absolutely. I can't wait for the season to start. To be honest, it's just like, I know it's just a week away, but it's just so excited to see the season start, and especially with Varane coming in. And I hope all our problems regarding the set pieces are solved. I just hope we just don't concede all sorts of stupid goals like how we used last season. And Sancho, man, absolutely, we've been chasing him for more than a year now, and it's finally happened. It just feels so unreal, and like I just can't believe it's actually happened.
To be honest, my views on the summer signings, you got Sancho and Varane. I know a lot of people are getting excited about Varane because the expectation of Sancho, we were hyped about a year and it took so long, a season later to finally get him. People forget how good Sancho actually is. And unfortunately, in the Euros, people think, he's a bench warmer or, do you see what I mean? The hype, and people lost that. Yeah. But honestly, I really believe, Varane's going to be fantastic with Maguire, but I really believe Sancho, he could be key. Against the low blocks, we've struggled against team sitting back. Sancho is a demon. When he gets that ball, he just runs in the box, don't he?
Yeah, the thing is, one of our weaknesses last season, in my opinion, was the fact that the amount of times that we would get people down the wings, whether it be Rash or Greenwood, and then there's been nobody in the box. So what we now need to do is really make sure, unless Cavani's playing, he's always in the box, but when he's not, we're always going to make sure we got 2-3 options in the box. Give the crosses a chance. Give when those balls come in, give them a chance, someone to cross to. Don't just get down there and look and think, we're going to pass to now, and then playing it back to the edge of the box and trying to whip it in. We've got to take the opportunity and build on that. And Varane as well, he played 342 games. He scored 22 goals as well. We mustn't forget that.
I see you got your stat sheets there, Phil.
I'm ready. I've had 2 weeks to prepare for this. I thought it was last week. I was ready to go. 22 goals. He was, and that's something we mustn't forget. The defenders, Maguire got more at Leicester than he's got here.
To be honest, Harry should be getting more goals. Like we've done some good crosses with Shaw and Bruno, and he gets a lot of connection to that slab head of his. But unfortunately, his GPS is for Man United, his GPS isn't really on. We need to.
For England, though, hasn't he?
No, for England he done it. He does it, but for United,
I'm sure.
Yeah, so yeah.
I reckon defenders could be top scorers this season.
I do believe we've got someone called Mr. Cavani. I really want him to win a trophy at United. His performances last season, he deserves to lift some silverware. I was a bit upset.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's that's the signings that we've got so far. Anyone in mind?
What Varane brings as well, before we move on, is trophies. He's got the experience, he's got the hope for it. He won 19 trophies in his career so far, including World Cup, Champions League, La Liga. He's won some big trophies. He's got the experience. What he can bring into the changing room as well will be a wealth of experience, not just his ability on the pitch, but his voice off it as well. I'm convinced he's going to be a leader on and off the pitch as well. So
And another important thing I feel is that the age factor. It's not really like he's had so much of experience over the years, but the problem is he's just hitting his prime. He's just 28 years old for a defender. It's actually his prime. They're getting actually a good amount of years of him, and I am really looking forward to how that partnership with Maguire is. I'm really excited to see that partnership with them.
What was wrong with Lindelof, Surya? You're not happy with Mr. Lindelof, Swedish?
No,
champion?
I really like Lindelof, but I feel he has his limitations. He gets bullied away when there's too much of physique and stuff like that. I feel he can be a very, very good backup defender for us, definitely, and can add really good depth to us. But he still has his weaknesses here and there.
So, guys, Phil, first of all, who would you like to see as the next Manchester United signing?
I think for the next Man United signing, it's got to be defensive midfield. I'd love to see Trippier at the back because we need some backup to Wan-Bissaka. We saw what happened with Luke Shaw when Telles came in. And I think to get Trippier at the back would be awesome. But I think we do need that central defensive midfield. They obviously widely reported Sol Niguez, Neves, Camavinga. But, they're the sort of players that will be heavily linked to. I'm not sure it's going to be Camavinga in the end. And I know that... It was an FBL hub the other day saying that it's not dead yet, but we also know that he's likely to. He's because of his age of 18, he's thinking of just staying another year, making another decision on before he makes that move. Where other clubs will be able to go in for him as well. Rumours that he's wanting to go to a Spanish club, so we'll see. But I think with the names that we're being linked to, we're not going to be disappointed with whoever we end up with. I don't think we're going to get Ndidi. I'd love to see us get Ndidi, but
Ndidi.
Well, I mean, Leicester are letting Maddison go to Arsenal. I don't think they're going to let another big player like Ndidi go in the same window. I just cannot see it. He'd be perfect.
I really don't see Maddison going to Arsenal, to be honest. Right? Like it's just too much of a downgrade at this point. Like any move to Arsenal is going to be a downgrade.
Yeah, I said that to him, mate. He wasn't happy. He's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. To be honest, I believe the same, but let's just try to keep this united. We don't need AFTV polices on our back. Anyway, so yeah. Suya, your thoughts on summer signings to come?
Same as Phil said, I want a defensive midfielder. Like when the window started, I was bagging on the table for a defensive midfielder. I just hope we go get one. And I really think we need to get a few players off the books as well. Like who need to move on, like Andres Pereira, and maybe Jesse Lingard as well. Like even though I love Jesse, but I feel the best first carrier is to move on. So yeah, I still feel there's a lot of work to be done in the window.
Yeah, that's a good point. We should be talking about some of the deadwood we need to be moving out. But before I start on that, I wasn't really interested in Neves. He did kick off a couple of seasons ago. But now that I'm thinking about it, watching a few clips and just seeing a few stats, then I realised, you know what? Wolves didn't do well last year. It wasn't really his fault. And I do like Neves. I just think, that Premier League experience people talk about. He's not English, so we won't pay over the odds like Ben White, 50 million. So we could get him. We could get him for a bit cheaper. And he is by default a passing defensive midfielder. I think his tackling game lacks a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like the Ndidis of the world, a ball breaker, someone to break up possession. But we might be confident with Varane and Maguire. So it's one to see. But yeah, I will be happy with Neves, to be honest.
I agree. I think we definitely need a player. I've been saying that myself. But I think what we need to remember is how well Fred's played for Brazil recently. He was fantastic.
He has Casemiro next to him, a proper defender.
Yeah, exactly.
So Fred doesn't really play the DM role. He likes to float box to box for Brazil. And unfortunately, we're packed there with Pogba and Van der Beek. And do you see what we're too packed there? So I don't think, to be honest, I'll be happy if we sell Fred. But don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy. He's too good to keep on the bench. Like for in my opinion, you can't just waste him. But if we can get about 35, 40 million, I think we should sell him.
It depends who you bring in.
If you get that sort of money in, I'm talking about Ndidi. He's going to cost you 60, 70 million. But if we say we sell Fred and say Lingard and we bought Ndidi, losing those two and still having say Scott McTominay as backup CDM, I think like, you know, the overall squad chemistry and the balance will be much better than having Fred.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean,
yeah, you were saying?
I just think Fred's coming into his game. I mean, I know he's not a world beater, but I think with the defence behind him and the right team in front of him, he only made a couple of mistakes last season. You know, he grew into the season, I think, and he just didn't seem. He was a bit like Ji-sung Park with his engine. He never stops.
He
That's
doesn't.
an important trait to have.
He gets in so many good shooting position, and he honestly,
Yeah,
for
he
a
can't
Brazilian,
shoot.
I've never seen such poor shooting. He gives away too many fouls, in my opinion. And last year we weren't very good off the set pieces. So unfortunately,
No, it's true.
did you see what I'm saying? Like he's very tenacious, but he's like a Paul Scholes. He just don't know how to connect to the ball without getting.
But you take Paul Scholes tomorrow, wouldn't you?
No, obviously that's a different role. But you wouldn't take Paul Scholes and employ him as your CDM. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like the guy, but I'm talking about if you want to become Premier League champions, Champions League, is Fred good enough? Because Ole won't use him in the role that he may be good at. Do you see what I mean? You use him in that pivot with McTominay and drop him deep. Yeah. Is he good for us in that role? I think we should sell him anyway.
I feel we should keep him for one more season maybe, and then look to move on. Like I feel one more season, I think we could take a gamble with. I think there will be games where he will be important. Like especially like when we looked at the previous season, not the season. I'm not talking about the 2020-21 season. I'm talking about the previous season when we beat the likes of Man City a couple of times, and I felt like Fred played a really important role in those games. And I feel if you can put him in the right games and bring him on at the right times, I feel he can obviously have an impact in games.
We're just struggling to sell deadwood, so I'm just trying to think of where we're going to get the cash from, because no one's going to take Phil the flop Jones, is he? No one wants.
He's been linked to Newcastle, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Newcastle
Villa. On a pay-as-you-play contract. You know how we used to get Owen. So if Phil Jones is injured, they don't pay him. So, and also we're struggling to sell some of our other deadweights as well. And I really think Dan James, Lingard, Pereira, they all need to go. Those three definitely.
Dan James, I feel sorry for him. He was brought in as a backup. And because of our injuries, he didn't get the chance to work his way into the team. So, he had 3 goals in his first 4 games, I think it was. Everyone was like waxing lyrical about him. Oh, great, he's landed. And after that, he was just unlucky with it. He was putting some good crosses in. There was no one there to receive them. There was somewhere he overran it. He just sometimes when he's running, he looks like he's running with no direction of where he's going to finish. He's not quite sure, sort of thing. But his best position's on the left, and he was played so often on the right. So
he was. But even on the left,
I think he could benefit from a good loan season away, rather than just getting rid of him just yet. Give him a loan season away in the Premier League team or something like that, and just give him another chance. There's other players who could go before him, as you say, Pereira, Lingard. We've seen what he can do at West Ham. He's got amazing qualities, and we think, let's bring him in. But who are you going to bring him in ahead of? We can't. So I think, unfortunately, for that reason, Lingard's going to have to go to another team where he'll get regular games.
I don't know if you boys have been watching some of the pre-season, and I used to watch a bit of the under-23 games. Anthony Elanga looks like he's going to be something special. And to be honest, he plays wing or striker. You've got Shoretire still there. You've got Ahmad still there. And one of my favourites, Hannibal Mejbri, when he's on the ball, everything seems like it's slow motion. He never panics. Yeah. He just plays.
Not ready yet, though, is he?
No. This is what I'm saying. That Mejbri is not ready yet. Elanga is ready for the first team to come on.
I think Elanga will start against Leeds.
Yeah, as an impact. You know how I think it was Greenwood started off last season because of you injury.
Yeah, it was.
So we've got so many wealth there. Remember, Sancho's still to be added in. You've still got Martial back for fit again. I know Rafshaw's going to have his, shoulder injury. I just don't see a place for Dan James. I like Ahmad. I want to see what he can do. I'd rather Ahmad play than James. And unfortunately, we've got too much wage bill. You've got too much on the books. You can't have a 30-man squad. And I think Dan James is a good player, and I think he will benefit in like Aston Villa, teams that are fighting, Everton or someone, teams that are fighting for European football. I just think United is not the team for him. I like him.
Palestri's done well.
There you go. You've got Facundo Palestri. You've got. This is what I'm saying. That if you keep people like Dan James, who's 24, correct me if I'm wrong, 23, 24 now?
Yeah, I think it's 23, 24. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and you,
I get your point. I get your point. I fully get your point. Like, and we do have too much of abundance, in especially up front. But I feel I don't know if Ollie's actually willing to let a lot of players go. I really don't think so.
He wants to hang on to everyone, it seems. Like every interview you see him say, he seems like, the more the merrier. But unfortunately, like Ollie also needs to remember it's a football club. You've got to balance the wages. You've got X amount of people you can. I think 25-man squad, including homegrown and, all of this sort of things. And obviously, we're not done with transfer signing. So, and if we want more in, we've got to sacrifice. And unfortunately, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, leave us comments if you agree or disagree with some of the stuff. If you think Dan James needs, another season, or if you think like Lingard's deserve to go ahead, maybe Paul Pogba does go and Lingard gets to shine again. Leave us a comment. But we're going to move on to starting 11. What do you think? I'm not going to talk about signings we haven't made. We'll stick Varane in because it should be a done deal.
Yeah.
Unless, he does a Willian and tries off to Chelsea and signs after he does the medical with us. What happened with Spurs? So let's start off with starting 11. Phil, kick us off with your starting 11.
Well, my starting 11 against Leeds, I think is going to be slightly different to my starting 11 for the rest of the season.
No, let's just talk about general instead of game to game.
General, okay. Because for Leeds, I think there will be some changes because I don't think everybody's ready yet. And not just Rashford. I mean, I'm not even sure Varane's going to start against Leeds.
Let's talk about in general, okay. but we'll put the Rashford in because that is quite a considerable time. So we're going to have to leave Rashford out for.
In that case, I've got Henderson in net ahead of De Gea.
Ooh.
Yeah,
you do know he's got. I'm not sold on him. I was so upset.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you my reason. It's about distribution. I think De Gea is the best. His best attribute is
shot stopping. There's no argument.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
but last season, there was too many goals conceded, games lost, where his normal shot stopping at his best wasn't there. And his distribution, I've complained about this for years. Obviously not to the Man United board, just to to my mates.
Maybe you should write that letter. You might
have a word, David. It's just something, and I think that's part of the reason that United changed the playing out from the back last season, because they know that De Gea has got bad distribution from the back, whether he throws it, whether he kicks it. It hardly ever goes to our players. It goes out for throw-ins and everything. Now Henderson has got that. And I think that is a big part of our game. It gives us a chance to be able to play it out from the back. It gives us a chance to whack it upfield straight away. And, we saw that with Henderson towards the end of last season when he had the chance. And there were some good opportunities created. Rashford straight up on the left. Take the ball straight from Henderson. I can't remember which game it was, but we did score from one of them. And it just saw...
I think you're talking about the Man City game. The one Luke Shaw scored. That started from the back.
That's it. Yes, it was straight out to Luke Shaw from the back. Yeah, exactly.
I believe he's not ready yet, and I wouldn't be upset if De Gea got sold because he's on 375k, and I do believe that's outrageous. So my only gripe with De Gea is how much he's getting paid for his performances. But I'm still a big De Gea fan. I believe if he
not his fan, absolutely.
I believe maybe he needed the Varane and Maguire security to bring the best out of him. Do you see what I mean? If you've got to buy your Lindelof, come on. You know what I mean? You don't really want to pass it to them, do you? But yeah, let's crack on with the rest of that squad. So you got Hendo in goal.
Have you got in nets, lads? Have you got in nets?
I would go for David.
I'll go David.
It's one more experience. It's just the experience. We need to win trophies. We just need that. Maybe he knows how to win things. So I'm hoping he fixes up. But like I said, we've got a great number 2, so it can happen. So,
I'll be amazed if anybody's got a different back four to me. Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire and Shaw. If anybody differs from that, I'll be amazed. Any comments down below where you think you differ? You're following the wrong team. You're not watching football.
Let's crack on with that juicy midfield. Where all the...
At the moment, with the team we've got, I've gone with a sort of 4-5-1. So I've got Scott McTee at the base of a pivot.
4-5-1.
Yeah, I've got Scott McTee at the base of a pivot, and then I've got Sancho, Bruno, Pogba, and Rashford with Cavani up front.
You're gonna have to take Rashford out, mate. 12 weeks, no Rashford, no rules. Come on, Phil. So you're gonna swap him with Martial?
You just said I could have Rashford in at the beginning.
I said no Rashford because he's the only one that's got considerable.
So in that case, if I have to take Rashford out, it's either Sancho on the left and Greenwood on the right.
Okay.
Or Martial on the left instead of Rashford.
So yeah, what do you reckon about that?
Maybe when I go with the more or less same team except for the goalkeeper, I would say. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys, man. I think we should be playing 4-3-3. I don't.
I think we should go for a 4-2-3-1 where one of the pivots has, like, if it's Pogba, he has more access to go forward. Because I feel if you play a 4-3-3, you just cut off Bruno's free roam ability a lot. I feel he thrives on that. And so I think we should go with the 4-2-3-1 with Pogba having more license to move forward rather than holding.
But then he's going to be at a pivot, and I don't believe that works. I think if we've got the Varane and Maguire centre back partnership, and because obviously Varane's known for his pace. I know he's lost a bit of pace over time, but he's still got some pace there. So I believe, for me, I would have David De Gea in goal, the same back four. But for right now, I'll put in Scott McTominay ahead of Fred, and I will play Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, and then I would have Martial, Sancho, and Cavani up top.
So same team as me then, just in a slightly different formation.
Yeah.
I believe Scott McTominay, but to be honest, knowing Ole, we'll put Fred in there. He's a golden child.
Do you think he's going to win McFred?
He can't play McFred. You know, I don't care if Scott plays or Fred plays. One is fine. If they're both on there, no, because then you take away. I don't want Pogba on the left like he had last season, and Rashford on the right.
We saw what Pogba did for France. We saw what he did for France. He was phenomenal. Everybody knows he was the best player. Although I read a report the other week that it was his fault that they went out of the Euros.
Yeah, it's always a United player's fault, man.
Clue what that's about. But
it's also Shaw's fault for scoring too early in the Euros final. He should have held back until the 89th minute. You know, you can't make this. You can't make this up. But yeah, so starting 11, definitely. If we do get that CDM, then McFred and Scott, you know, they both can get lost. To be honest,
yeah.
You know, I do like Scott McTominay a little bit more because he's got that. When he runs, he's like a bull in a china shop. He does those brilliant runs forward.
So he did against Leeds last season. We want another star like that. Take that off.
Yeah.
It's just
Scott McTominay's going 2 minutes into the season. We'll take that.
The thing with Scott is he's built like a tank, but just defensively, he just doesn't know where to be. I believe he ball watches and he chases. Do you see the problem? Do you see what I mean?
I think he's a good tackler, though. I think he gets stuck in. Stops a lot of the attack.
He gets stuck in, but what I'm saying is, watching the ball, I think he looks forward and watches the play and gets to the position a bit late, but he can do a tackle. I think sometimes you just got to worry about your space and not too much where the ball is. But okay, so that's the starting 11. So expectation, guys, what do you reckon?
For me,
kick us off with that one.
Yeah, for me, expectations, I would say, in the league, I want us to challenge till the end of the season. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. I want us to be in a title race till the end of the season. Like, it's whether we win. I obviously I would love us to win the title, but I think realistically, I would say push till the end of the season, not lose steam like how we did last season. And I think that should be a main target. And in the league, and if we can get a silver, if we can get some silverware in one of the cups, I think it'll be ideal. And the UCL also would like us to go a bit deep,
No. I don't think it'll be. I think a silverware is a must.
Yeah,
I completely agree. I actually think, and I put my cards on the table here, and I mean, and I'm not just saying it, I think we can win the league this season. I think we can win the league this season, and I think we'll get silverware. Yeah,
you don't buy Varane and Sancho to get second fiddle again.
No. I mean, the very least we have to get is top two. But I really believe we can win this year. When we look at how close we came last year, you know, we were at the top not for long, but we were there. And, you know, we could see that the legs ran out. Ole didn't have many options to be able to play with. Van der Beek wasn't ready, although he's come back this year ready, looking like
mate, he's definitely
every single day since.
It's been putting the weights in.
Yeah, he's going to be much more Premier League ready this year. So none of us had him in our starting lineup, despite what he's the work he's put in. But he needs to start proving himself on the field now. I think he'll probably get a chance against Everton in the friendly, see what he can do and bring some surprises. But where is his best position? Where is he going to play? But the bench is going to be strong, and I think we've got, with this strength in depth now, we've got a chance to take it further. With Rashford's getting his operation early on, get that out the way while everyone's fresh and raring to go, and then bring Rashford in. He can still get his 30 goals. Take that.
To be honest, yeah, silverware is a must. I'm not
absolutely.
winning the league. Obviously, it's going to be hard. I think what Ole needs to do is he needs to have more faith now. He's got a bigger bench. He's got more quality on the bench. I believe last year he's too reliant on the starting 11. He feels that he's too scared to take someone off in case they change the game. But to be honest, sometimes fresh legs just do more. Do you see what I mean? Sometimes fresh mind, fresh legs.
Screaming for it last season, just thinking, just bring anybody on, just take, you could see the ones who were leggy, who couldn't get back, who was going to make a rash tackle, not a Rashford tackle, a rash tackle, a harsh tackle, going to make that mistake, and you could see it coming, and it just did. I mean, the one time that Ole did make the change and brought Twanzebe on against Everton, we had 3-2, 2 minutes to go. First touch,
that's the negative. Those are the changes I don't want him to make. I don't want us to do those negative changes because they're very reactive. I don't want him to think there's 4 minutes left of the game. We're 1-0 up. Do you know what I mean? Let's take off someone. No. I want him to
bring another defender on. Stick with it, innit?
Yeah, where we lost the league was obviously after we went top in January. We had like 4 or 5 draws in a row out of like 6 games. And I just didn't like, especially that game against Crystal Palace. And I'm thinking to myself, like, Ole, are you not going to go for it? Like they
literally like 3 games 0-0 in a row, didn't we? Something like that. In Europa and Champions League.
He seemed he seemed too hesitant, and he seemed like happy for the draw. So to be honest, I actually believe winning the Champions League might be easier if we get a good draw. Because sometimes, if you can do a Chelsea, sometimes you can get to the top. You can get up to quarterfinals, semi-finals without actually playing one of the top guns. No disrespect to some of the other teams, but do you see what I mean? You could avoid, say, like a Bayern Munich or something by semi-finals, and then it's only a couple games. All you got to do is turn up for 2-3 games, and you've done a Chelsea and you won a trophy.
But saying that, look what we did again in last year when we beat PSG. We beat PSG. We won our next game 5-0, and then after that we were like, hey, we've done this 6 points straight away. That was it. We didn't get nothing after that.
Yeah, and we had 9-4, and we had 9-4, leading just 1 to qualify 2, and we lost 2. That was a heartbreak.
No, but that's what I said. So if we can get like an easy draw and take it. We've got a better bench now. We've got a better starting 11 now. We've got more experience coming in. We've got a goal threat coming in. There's no excuse for silverware, in my opinion.
More signings to come as well before we start.
There, you've got more signings to come along. So, like I said, I do hope we win the Premier League. That would be absolutely massive. So one to watch out for. Who do you reckon, guys? Who's your one person if you had to pick to watch out for next season?
Sancho and Bruno.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I think they're the obvious ones, but at the same time, I think Greenwood. I think if Pogba gets his chance further forward, I think he can do what he does for France. When he's played too deep, he just doesn't get it. But if Pogba stays, he needs to give his all. He needs to play like he's playing for France with the desire and passion that he brings into every game. The fact that he wants to be a leader on the pitch as well. Because he does seem to just sulk a little bit sometimes, labour a bit too much on the ball. He hasn't got that in the Premier League. And if he's going to bring his A game, he needs to bring it. But I think that Van der Beek and Martial, I think this could be their season.
Martial could be if he plays alongside the quality of Sancho, Rashford, Cavani. I think he was doing well before he got injured. Like the last game he played was against Man City.
Exactly. Yeah. He was the man of the match, if I remember right. Yeah.
He had
a really good game. He was brilliant that game. And the thing was with Martial, I was like really disappointed, like how his season went. It started off slow, then the Eric Lamela incident happened. He got suspended and stuff. I still hate Eric Lamela for that. I'm not even
Rumor has it Lamela still wearing a face mask after that brutal attack from Martial. So hopefully the Spanish league's a bit more kinder to Eric Lamela. But yeah, what I would add is I was a bit disappointed in Wan-Bissaka. I know everyone waxes lyrical about it, but one-on-one tackling is the best. There's no argument. I'm hoping this year, now he's got Varane to his left and Sancho up front. I'm hoping we see the best. You know how Luke Shaw had Maguire to his right, and up front he had Rashford or Pogba. Do you see what I mean? The quality that Wan-Bissaka had was completely different. Now he's got that. I'm hoping that, like I said, I'm hoping that gives him that confidence to maybe actually go, because he never actually does overlaps, does he? You pass him the ball, he gets forward, and he just cuts the ball back, don't he? He doesn't cross, he just cuts the ball back. It's like watching Valencia again. So, defenders who defend against Wan-Bissaka, they know.
I like Valencia. Valencia was good. He was brilliant. He did get forward. He did get the ball in.
No, what I'm saying is towards the latter end of Valencia, all you knew is he'll just cut it back. So when you're a defender...
Don't go slating Antonio. Hang on.
No. He's the best Man United 7 I've ever seen. No, but respect him. He had it for a year and he said the shirt's too big for him and he left it.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. That is top quality there. So, one to watch out for, maybe Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Maybe the quality next to him might bring out the best like it did Luke Shaw. Because that cross to Elanga was something I've never seen him do before.
Yeah, it's been good.
It is pre-season.
Yeah, definitely.
It is pre-season.
I think Shaw is going to be one to watch out for as well. We saw him at the Euros and he was absolutely a different animal. And if he brings that to United with Maguire and Varane other side of him, and as you say, with whoever up front, whether it be Sancho or Martial right in front of him, I'm really excited about the season. Really,
you're telling me. I want to fast forward the clocks to the 14th of August and get this game started.
But I can't. It's my wife's birthday, so I'm not too excited about that. But
Yeah, but before we go, let's talk about what happens if Ole doesn't meet the standards we hold so high. So it's going to be our last topic. So Suya, kick us off with what do you think will happen if we don't get silverware?
I fear the worst for him, to be honest. Like I personally don't want that to happen. I hope he wins silverware, and I'm not someone who's going to hound Ole out of the club, because we are talking about Champions League, we're talking about Premier League goals, and finally after so long, because of that one person who's kind of like built a team so far over the 2.5 year period, so that we can look forward to something really beautiful. And but if he doesn't win silverware, I really fear the worst for him. I myself won't want him out of the club, but I feel a lot of the fan base is going to turn against him.
Phil?
I agree. I think the fan base will turn against him, but I actually think that it just depends on if we don't win, why we didn't win. Was it a series of injuries that we could do nothing about? Was it a poor refereeing decision like the Nani one against Real Madrid? I'll never forget that in the Champions League. Robbed. Or was it Ole's fault? Did he go too defensive? Did he not trust like we've been saying, did he not trust the bench and the strength in depth? But I actually think regardless, if Haaland really is a name that we are heavily linked to, we know that the draw that Ole is for that. As long as we get Champions League position starting next year, I think Ole stays and Haaland comes.
I believe, Ole's been given a 3-year contract. To be honest, all my mates, they'll verify in the comments, but I've never been his biggest fan. I've always, had high regards for Ole. There's been times I've been really frustrated and I just think, you know what, you're a good coach, man management, but I didn't believe he had the tactical, or the ruthlessness. But, he's changed my opinion. I think he's a top guy. Obviously, there's a lot to learn and there's no better place to learn it at Man United. The squad that he's built is fantastic. In my opinion, even if he doesn't win a silverware, like you said, Phil, I agree, it will be more and not just, a bottom line is, win or get out. You don't give someone a free year deal. But I know we all pray that he wins silverware, and
definitely.
I'm actually quite confident we're going to win something. So thank you for joining us today in our Man United's version of Fan Cam. If you agree with any of the stuff we've been saying, please leave us a comment. If you disagree, please leave us a kind comment. Actually, tell us what you think. And if you want more of this, hopefully we'll do some reaction to some of the games. That would be fantastic. After the match, if we can see what we're saying, a prediction. But once again, thank you very much. I've been Toffee.
I'm Phil.
I'm Surya.
We'll see you again, hopefully soon. Take care, guys.
Okay. Cool. See you.